Hey, welcome to my channel where I talk about dolls, and that's literally it. And in this video, I'm going to be unboxing the two latest releases from Ruby Red Dolls, which I picked up from Ruby Red Dolls Canada, or Maple Lee, as most of you might know by now. And it's going to be a new core girl as well as the latest limited edition doll to come out. The reason I have Jada beside me is because she shares the same mold or sculpt with the new core girl, whose name is Valeria. So I'm going to jump in immediately with her because I do want to compare them to see the differences, because as you can see, Jada's like a darker skin tone doll, and the new version of her has lighter skin tone. So it'll be fun to see them side by side. And before I jump in, this is what the box looks like, as most of you may already know, because I've been unboxing a lot of these on here lately. She looks good already. And I'll try to be really fast with opening of the tissue paper. But here's the doll inside the box to anyone who is curious or doesn't know already. Got a TV box on her head. Oh, wow. She looks really good. I say that all the time, so you're not going to be surprised if you've seen any of my videos. And one thing to note is that the Coraline dolls, or the not limited edition dolls, their wigs are glued on. So she'll be easy to show in that regard. But no matter what, the dolls don't come dressed. So much stuff. Okay, so I think I'll show you everything that she has as I'm dressing her, because there's one cute thing that I like about the outfit that she's got that I've kind of complained about before, but they've improved it in this doll. So as you see here, she's got some sequins and some, what is this, like a mesh kind of overlay, like some lace going on the skirt. Yeah, here you go. So it's a separate layer on top of, I don't even think you saw because of my big face, on top of just like a plain yellow type of skirt underneath. Very nice, as usual. Oh, and I forgot I have to remove all her plastic. I got excited jumping ahead of myself. And as you can see, there are no dolls behind me today because I'm in the middle of making some changes to my displays. Sounds so ominous, but I think a lot of you won't be surprised when I bust out my next room tour of how things are going to look a little bit. I've had to make room for these little gremlins, so what else could I do? And I think another thing I'll have to talk about while I'm unboxing these dolls is the current situation for us collectors, and everybody, not just collectors, but in a collector capacity, with what's happening with tariffs, because there have been some developments recently. I mean, there have been a lot of developments, keeps kind of jumping all over the place. So it'll almost be like a time capsule if I ever look back on these videos talking about tariffs, because they can, it has almost changed daily lately. But the current news is, as far as collecting goes, I'm just going to concentrate on that because all I talk about is collecting on here. It's kind of bad news for collectors in America. Okay, so here are leggings. So I thought these would be more like tights, but I guess it wouldn't have to because she's got boots. So is there something I want to say specifically about that? Yeah, okay, because these dolls are headquartered in China, and there are dealers all around, but the dolls themselves are, because they're shipped from China and they're made in China, the tariffs that are going to affect them, from what I understand, as it currently stands, the beginning of May, there is going to be, on goods coming from China to America specifically, to the United States specifically, is there'll be a 90% tariff, so the 90% of the value, or $75, whichever is lower. But then that whichever is lower is going to change in June. So it'll still be 90%, but now it'll be $150, whichever is lower. So it's going to affect a lot of things with collecting if it stays this way. I mean, we can't really say from day to day how it's going to change, but I'm just saying that's what I've heard is going on right now. And that also affects, I know I'm only unboxing Ruby Red dolls, but because I picked them up from Maple Lee, we were talking about it at Maple Lee, and it'll affect anything that's made in China. So even if you're buying from Canada, like Maple Lee dolls, for example, specifically, I think the rule still applies that it'll be the same amount as if you're ordering from China, because they're still Chinese-made products. A little bit of a downer, but I think it's something to talk about, just, as we're going through this together. So here's her top. This is what I wanted to say, that I really like the improvement sort of that they made to the outfit. Is, so usually, because her name is Igniting Passion, I didn't even say her name, I did, Igniting Passion Valeria. And the top, you'll see the shape of it when I put it on in a second, but it feels kind of like, I think it's supposed to be denim because that's the theme that goes through the core dolls, but this definitely feels like chambray. However, the name, it usually says the doll's name somewhere on their top, but this time they put it on the back of her top. So even though it's very big and bold with the fire there. It's not going to be as visible as it is on some of the other dolls. And one thing I just noticed, I didn't notice this in pictures, is her buttons are actually rhinestones. So she's got, I don't know why this doll's so sparkly. I like sparkles, so that's not plain at all. It's excitement. And now let's see about getting the shown. Oh, the other thing though, I always talk about this ruby red tag that it's such a clash sometimes, especially with this one. But I'm trying to decide if I should see it as like the label of the brand, like they're just wearing ruby red, if you know what I'm saying. Because as is, it's a little, for me, unsightly. So I'm still toying with the idea of maybe unstitching some of them and seeing how I feel. But I know that's probably devaluing your dolls. But for me, the value is the doll. For me, the value of the doll is how much I love it while I have it. Because I don't, I don't revolve all my doll decisions around one day parting with them, even though that's inevitable in anything we go, anything we collect or anything we do. She's coming together, and you know what it is. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to show her to you, but I'm also trying to react to her because I've been really excited waiting for this doll, and especially to compare her to Jada, which I will do in a second. And I showed you these while I was talking, but if you're wondering, so it's like a faux leather, the boot, and then the sole is more of a hard plastic rather than these are more of a rubbery. Like usually the shoes are a bit more of a rubbery, sorry, like a realistic feeling sole, I guess you could say, whereas these are harder. It's not a problem. I'm just explaining the differences. And these lace ups, I hope I have her leggings low enough to show you, because as you might know by now, these also have some long feet. And I don't know if the leggings are supposed to go inside the boot because they're not quite long enough. But again, these are things that I don't notice all the details in pictures sometimes. I'm usually so mesmerized with their faces specifically, especially with this one because this is my favorite mold. Did I already say that? I probably already said that. One of at least. If it's not my favorite mold, like my most favorite mold so far, it's one of two. Oh, and that reminds me that the core girls that have been sold out for some of them since the fall, some even longer farther back, they are now on pre-order because they're going to be restocking soon, which means I'll have more core girls to open soon because I think they're listed for pre-order on the site for the second week of April, so soon. And then they'll probably be shipping to the dealers around the same time. So Maple Leaf said that that's when they're expecting their dolls too. All right, here we go. So now that she's dressed with her big old boots, let me take off the hairnet for you. Here we go. She's, and I don't know if any of you would have seen her in pictures already, like how she looks, or if you're seeing her for the first time because you're just curious from stumbling on all my other videos. There you go. So I just have to try to sneak these. Are even these the same as hers? They're similar to her hairpiece. She's got two of them and they're white, so I don't want to mess up her curls. So let me try to be careful when I put this on. Okay, that's fine. You can spread it enough. Oh, I think you have to double loop it. Man. Let's see if I can do this. It's fine. I'm sure the curls will keep anyway. I'm just being, I don't know. She just came out of the box, so I want her to look as perfect as possible for at least an hour. And second, what's this for? She wears a headband? Is this a belt? Maybe it's a belt. I think it's a belt to go around her shirt. I was about to put this over her head. You know what it is? Again, I see the details, but I don't either notice them or retain them, especially when I haven't seen it in person. But no, it's gonna be a belt. I know that. Just double. I'm doubting myself because I've come on here and thought things were belts and they were headbands and but it's very obvious when it's not. I'll see in a second. Here we go. And then I will show her and Jada close up together so you can see them both. Not that I'm stalling. Oh, gotta get her hair kind of pretty. Oh yeah, it bounces back. There we go. Not so bad. And I think what I like about the sculpt is it's very versatile. Like it's got, like the features are very nice. She's got like sort of like a little pout, and I like her round nose. So that's why so far this one feels like my favorite. And it's funny too because the very first ruby red doll I wanted was of this mold. And I had seen them before because they're on when you're on the Maple Leaf site, you can punch out to the Ruby Red Dolls Canada at the bottom. And so sometimes they cross promote, like in the catalogs and stuff, they'll show these dolls. So they have been on my radar for quite a while, and I was resisting for quite a while as well. But then they showed the first boy, or the only boy doll to have this mold so far, was the one that caught my eye. But at this point, I've accepted he's a doll I'll never have. And then if I'm ever pleasantly surprised, I'll go from there. But for now, I've just accepted that uh, he's just impossible to chase down. But I'm fine with that because I have Jada, especially because she's looks a lot more like him than Valeria would, because they have the same ish skin tone. Might even be the same. Okay, this belt is really hard to get through. So have I run out of things to yammer about? Okay, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna bring them closer just to show you, and then I will go back to talk because I feel like you need to see them up close at some point, side by side, just to see the differences in how versatile the mold is. And very sweet. I love that little pouty expression they have because it's now plural. There also is another doll, so this is technically the fourth doll to come out with this mold. I don't know if I've said that already, but you know what I'm going to do? I am going to continue putting this through off camera because sometimes the trick to getting something to work is just shutting up for 5 seconds, and that's all it took once I pressed pause. So here she is, all done up. This is Valeria, the latest core girl, and I don't know. I think the last one to come out was Karina back in the fall. So she's one of the ones who's coming out, being restocked, I guess you could say. The next wave or the next production line is coming out very soon. So I'm really excited to get her because that's my second favorite mold, in case I didn't make that clear earlier. So here are Jada and Valeria. And I think we would call this the Jada mold because the other doll, oh, that's a sequin. I thought one of her rhinestones came off. I saw some sparkle on my table. That's just a sequin, it's fine. What was I saying? Oh yeah, that the other doll with the sculpt so far, the fourth one, is a limited edition doll named Candy, who has a really cute cowboy or cowgirl outfit, I guess I could say. But I'm not going to chase too many of the limited edition ones. I've had some luck. I've had a lot of luck, I should say. But there's some I will just accept as doesn't need to happen. But now I'm going to move on to the limited edition doll. And she's Easter themed, even though I think a lot of people don't see the Easterness. I do, and I'll explain why when I get to her. But so I was supposed to do like an Easter theme when I opened her, but because she and Valeria came out, they were on the same shipment together, and I picked them up the same day. I realized it's fine just to open 2 dolls at once because I have a lot of unboxings to get through. I'm sure that's clear to anyone who's been following along. So let me just put these girls off to the side for a minute while I bring out Marvis, who's right here beside me. Do not fall, Valeria. So what I was saying about people, I think people have said that she doesn't really look like an Easter doll, Easter themed. But what I saw with her right away, I guess I should talk about it more when I open the doll, but here she is in her mauve, purple box with her face on it because she's a limited edition, and they open a little bit differently. And all her stuff's in here. She's also got 2 outfits, so I will probably pause sometimes just so I can dress her and not have to... what? So the reason I saw this, the friction thing for the limited edition dolls is, so I was saying I was going to pause so that you're not watching me do too many stupid things about redressing. So what I was going to say, and then I saw this and it made me a little nervous, is that so Maple Lee, the carrier in Canada, the owner, Catherine, she prefers the dolls. She prefers the dolls to have their wigs glued down. And so they offered a few that you can buy with the wigs already glued. And I was like, yes, immediately buy one of the glued wig dolls. So when I saw this thing this like non-slip band, anti-slip wig band, it made me think, did I get a doll whose wig isn't glued down? But they did check her for me, so it should be glued. It looks glued. It's glued. Sorry, I've been having a little bit of a panic as I was going through all this. Oh, she's very pale. These dolls, the really pale dolls, never cease to, I don't know if startle's the right word. Let's say amaze me. They never cease to amaze me how pale they can be. But she's very pretty. Like let's call it a stunning shade of pale. How about that? So I don't sound so negative all the time when I'm just surprised to see it. So on to her outfit. Oh, I guess I should talk about her limited edition size. She's number 63 of 250. That's a pretty low number, I guess. And so this is a surprise, an egg that comes with a surprise in it. part of the Easter theme. So when I get to that, you know, I'll do chapters. So if you don't want to be spoiled in any way, I'll make it so that you can skip the chapter when the time comes. Oh, she's already got her earrings in. I was wondering how they did that because she's got jewelry. They don't usually do a lot of jewelry with these dolls. Not that I've seen anyway. I'm pretty new here, even though I have so many, both in hand and on the way. I just thought that, I thought that the earrings might have come separately like the way this did, and that's not the case. So I wondered how it would be. And so in case you didn't see me unboxing any of the other limited edition dolls, I think anti-slip, put on the wig, and I hate it. So I'll always, like I said, the owner of Maple Lee has said they'll always do the option of glued wigs. So if that appeals to you too, I think they're the only dealer you'll be able to get, as long as there are limited edition dolls that are open to the dealers as well, because sometimes they're exclusive to the Hong Kong site, the headquarters site. So if that interests you, keep an eye on Maple Leaf. But see, I noticed that they had 3, so I think they had 10 to start with of the glued wig dolls. And for the longest time, there were 3 left. And then now that the dolls have started shipping, yesterday at the time of when I'm recording this, by the time that happened, all the wig doll, the last 3, just either they only had, I don't think that's the case. I just think people were like, oh, they're shipping now, let me buy one and let me get the wigged one. So the wigged ones are all gone, I think, is my jibber jabber way of getting around or saying that. Really long explanation. So back to what I was trying to say about the Easter thing is I thought that her fancy outfit was supposed to look like she's at a sort of Easter parade. I'm glad she's got pictures so I can know how to put everything on her because she's got 2 outfits. So I thought this was like her Easter Day parade. Oh, it's got a nice little brooch. Sparkly. Magpie. I'm like, so I would just say distracted by things that sparkle. So I thought it was supposed to look like she's attending the Easter parade. That's a thing. Well, I don't know if it's still a thing, but she's also from the 1950s, very obviously fashioned after one of her outfits is fashioned after Marilyn Monroe, which I'll put her in first just because it's the simplest one, and then I can probably get her in and out of it quickly. Is it just the shoes and that's all she needs to wear? Okay. So much to... What's this for? That's what's kind of not stressing me out, but that's what's distracting me is that I don't know what that is supposed to wrap around. And I can't figure it out from the picture either. Ugh, I hate these things. Sorry, not hate these things, but remember, I often complain that I wish the dolls came dressed. And, you know, that's part of the stress. So these have snap buttons. I'll show you another feature about the dress after in a second, but I'm just for now just showing you how the outfit or the dress would get on her. Almost the same color as she is. I have to stop reacting so dramatically to... I mean, she's very, very pretty. So I hope that doesn't sound like negativity at all. It's just so funny to see such, is it translucent? Dolls. So they snap up in the back. It seems like a really tight fit. No, it's fine. I just had it. Didn't have it at the right part of her body. And then we'll get her shoes on because she's only got the 1 pair, so that's easy to move around. She doesn't need her necklace yet. And these shoes are sort of like a patent leather, you know, like a shiny vinyl kind of shoe. Strappy. I'm sure it's a 1950s style. Which foot does it go on? Oh, and what's interesting, so this is a new sculpt. I guess we would call this the Marvis sculpt because she's the first one to have it. But at the time I'm recording this, there's a new limited edition doll being released tomorrow. So already by the time you would see this, with this sculpt. So her name's Kiki. So now there'll be 2 dolls already with the sculpt. And I was amazed at how different she looked with just giving her black hair and brown eyes. Let me bring her close now. You can see her face. I don't think I showed her you yet. And I really like how, I don't know, I know she looks a bit more mature because I like to think of the dolls as teenagers. So even though the jewelry and stuff might make her look a little bit adult, I just think she looks like a teenager in the 50s. You see how they looked? They all look like they were going to work or going to the office rather than going to high school. Not that I was there, but you know, when you look back on pictures, sorry, I'm just trying to train her wig into the right spot. Very pretty. Okay, so the other thing that another feature for this, the way they designed this dress, is that it's meant to flip up like Marilyn Monroe, kind of, without having to, uh, have her stand over, what do you call it? Over that grate. There was a grate. Okay, it's not really working, but it's supposed to be, it was designed in such a way, like they got the pleats just so that you're supposed to be able to fold it up. Maybe she has to kind of hold it with her hands. I'm not sure. And it's not a feature. I don't even think I'm going to ever display her in this dress because I like her pink one. But anyway, that's the idea. It's just not working for me. Is it like it on the, oh, maybe I haven't got it up high enough. Maybe it's supposed to fold higher. I'm looking at the certificate. I'm cheating. So maybe you're supposed to fold it higher up. And that's why it's not working. But whatever the case, if you get your doll and you want this look, it's not working for me, but it might for you. And I don't mean to promote it poorly. It's just, I'm not that fussed about her standing like this anyway. But it's a cute idea, and I can see why they did it. And now let me, you know what, I'm going to show you the pieces from the outfit I thought. I've already shown you the dress. And then they created they put a crinoline for underneath to give it the right poof that it needs. And she's got these long black gloves and some jewelry, this necklace that's going to go around her neck. I just want to dress her off camera because it's going to take a really long time, and I don't need to sit here, make you sit through all that. And then, you know what, I'll show you the hat after when I unbox that in a second. And I will probably figure out where this goes. So give me 1 second. So a little pro tip, put the crinoline on after you put the dress on because you can't get the dress over the crinoline. Okay, I just wanted to pop in and say that. One thing I really wanted to do off camera was put on this necklace, and it was surprisingly easy to put on. It wasn't the only thing I wanted to do off camera, but I got the worst parts done, so I can show you now the gloves. The gloves are really, really soft. They're like, they feel not silky, just like almost like a cotton poly blend, which is what I'm sure it is. So it feels a little spandexy, but soft. It feels really nice. And I think because I decided to record myself doing it, I'm having a hard time putting them on. I'm having a hard time feeding it in her thumb into it. But everything else, does she have? Oh, it feels like she has a separated finger. I think that's what has happened. I was trying to put her pointer finger, her index finger, through the thumb hole. But once you've put things in the right place, it goes on easily and it looks really nice. Because sometimes they're gloves, but I call them opera oven mitts because that's kind of what they look like sometimes. Because it'd be impossible to have them sewn in the shape of an actual hand with the fingers and everything. Let's see if I can get this one in. So you just have to forgive certain things. You just have to accept that this is what a doll glove looks like. I think is the best way to look at it. Yeah, these gloves are really nice. I like how they go on. I like how they feel and how they look. I really like delicate material. And there's also a bracelet that goes over it before I show you the hat. And I'm assuming it's going to be elastic, like stretchy bracelet. Yeah, it's not very stretchy, so I'm going to try to be careful. Even though I'm sure it's fine. Ooh, there we go. Nice. It went on easily. And then the part I'm most excited to show is the hat. I don't know why I'm most excited to show it. Maybe because it's like an easy thing to put on. I don't want to mess with doll stands anymore, but she almost took a nosedive. So I'll just have her standing very unladylike while I get her hat open. Oops. And I did figure out what that long string was for, but it's for her other dress, and I don't know if I'm going to put that back on her. So I'll just show you in the certificate what it's supposed to be. And let me make sure the hat goes on right. I guess the bow goes to the side. And I'm having a funny time getting this one curl to sit. So I was hoping the hat would hold it. That looks nice when I hold it back like that. Yeah, that made quite a difference. So here's Easter Day Parade Marvis. Because I feel like Easter Day Parade was like definitely a 1950s thing. And she's so pretty. And I don't know how, I can't say how, I don't know yet how popular dolls are because I'm too new to it. And I don't really have, it's not like I have a lot of, what would you say, conversations with other collectors. But she's still available on the sites I've seen. So that's why I feel like she's not selling out that pretty. I'm looking at the monitor and seeing how pretty she is. And that's why I said, I feel like that's why she's sold that quickly is what I'm saying. So that she's still available. And let me just show you on the because I think it's supposed to be like you wrap it around her waist on that Marilyn Monroe dress. I don't know what I'm gonna do with the Marilyn Monroe dress because I don't think I would really have a purpose for it unless I'll show you something else after. Right, it's so hard to open. So much tape. You know what? I do want to show it. That's why. I mean, most of you are probably like, don't open it. It's okay. We don't need to see. We can go online if we want to. But I'm determined. I get something in my head, and I'm relentless. So here is, oops. So if you look here, I think that's what it is. It's like you just tie it around her waist, and that's just not necessary. It's not necessary for me to put her back in that outfit when this is the Marvis look for me. And now I'm going to talk about this egg. I'm going to give you my theory on what I think is inside it based on, I don't even know where I got this idea from. I must have read something somewhere. And so I'm going to, I'll put a chapter title down so that you can skip this. If you are ordering her, you just don't want to know in case one day you order her, then you can skip this chapter. But anyway, I think because she comes with jewelry, I think it's going to be like jewelry. And imagine I'm so wrong, but imagine I'm right. Where did I get this idea from? I think I read it somewhere. I do. It comes with a surprise for you. Oh my God. Cut this open. So that's why I think because she's wearing jewelry, I have a feeling this golden egg, and this is also how they worked in the Easter theme, like an egg hunt. Even though I think she just looks like she's going to an Easter parade. 30th time I've said that, and then the last time, I promise. So I think there's going to be a version of the bracelet or the necklace in here for you. So hopefully I can figure out how to open this. Might have to pause. I'm going to break this. Wait, just... Are you supposed to like break it? Oh no. I thought this would be like a little hinge or something. Yo, is it glued? Oh, it broke. And I'm not mad about it. It's just, I don't know how else to get it open. There we go. Ooh, it's really, you see what I had to like split it. What is this? It's not what I thought. So I dreamed that. Ooh. Is it like a contra? It looks like the contra. You know the cat contra? I don't know what exactly you would do with this. So I think it's the contra, if you're familiar with that. You know the cat, the contra, like against bad luck or whatever it is. But I don't think there's a way to open this without ripping it. See, I don't think it's a resealable. Maybe it is, but not with a savage like me. So, oop, there we go. It's open. And I guess you would wear this. Oh, so it is a bracelet for you. So I must have read that somewhere because it is a bracelet. It's just it's not a version of her bracelet. It's just a contra bracelet, from my little understanding of contras. So at least you got to see it. Oh, I could put it away so now so I can, don't want to spoil it for anyone. I have to put it off camera, off screen. And one last thing I wanted to show you with Marvis, and because I've talked about how you can use the American Girl furniture with them because they actually scale a little bit better with it and they're more posable so they can use it better. And because she's obviously fashioned after the 1950s, I'm going to bring out just a little piece from, oh, she matches it well because I know she's a little bit fancier than going to a diner, but I still think the color scheme and the era she's from, actually it does have the right colors because the black and the pink and the blue of her eyes. So she's a little good match for this. And I also brought up the table just to see how she scales with the foodstuffs. Ooh. The whole setting is on there, so I don't want to have to mess with it too much. So what do you think? Doesn't it look almost like, yeah, I feel like she's a much better scale to Mary Ellen's diner because, well, whether she's a kid or a teenager or even an adult, she might look like she's the right size to sit at this table. It's not to say that she's moving up into Mary Ellen's diner or the Seaside Diner because the other American Girl dolls are up there and she wouldn't fit. But it is to show you that, like, the food might be about right. Let's see if she holds on to. I'm like learning this with you. I don't know why I've decided to do this in front of you. But yeah, I think like the milkshake, yeah, I think it's a better scale for them. Unless you consider the American Girl dolls that the American Girl world is built for kids or 9-year-olds, or they're just giants, whatever the case. But I have been putting them up in my American Girl furniture, which I will show better one day, but I just wanted to show you a little taste of what the dolls can do in 18-inch doll scale furniture. And I love it. But that doesn't mean I'm going to buy another diner for her or anything. It just means sometimes if I don't take photography, but if you did, if you're somebody who collects dolls to take photography, they're so much fun to pose with within the American Girl world, because American Girl obviously has like the best play sets out of any, in my opinion, out of any doll line. And these dolls are really dynamic to pose in there. So I just want to show you a little bit of that. And now I'll bring back Valeria, because these two dolls will now kind of feel like, even though they're not going to be in the same world or pose together and near each other, I still kind of feel like they go together now because they came out the same day. If I can get her to stand. Am I going to have to cut off? Am I going to have to cut? How about I look at her and get her standing correctly? Because I'm just trying to do everything from like looking at the monitor, and that never works. I should know better by now. See how easy that was? Smart. This out of the way and bring back Valeria. So what? They look so funny together. They don't match at all. Let me bring Jade over so that she doesn't look so out of place. But yeah, this is now like my 6th Ruby Red video, and I cannot begin to explain how behind I am in unboxing the rest of the dolls I have. So I don't know if I'm just going to unleash a whole bunch upon you, like pew, 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 like 5 in a row or something, but I have to do something. I'm feeling a little overwhelmed at having to record all these videos. Overwhelmed in a good way, because who doesn't love opening up a whole bunch of dolls, right? So whatever the case is, these are, at least I can show you some new releases for a change. And whatever the next video is, it may not be Ruby Red. It may be another kind of unboxing. Who knows? But regardless, thank you for hanging out with me, and I will see you soon in the next one.